Hello, good people. In this video, I'm interested in showing you how we can easily solve trigonometric equation. Solving trigonometric equation. This is the concept in this video we're going to look at, solving trigonometric equation. Now, we need to know the following in order for us to be able to solve a trigonometric equation. What are those things? Number one, a trigonometric equation, we will usually have two solutions. We usually have two solutions. What do we mean two solutions? We simply means it will usually have a positive answer or it can be a negative answer. That is a quadratic, that is a trigonometric equation, just same as quadratic equation. It has two answers. Okay, to solve equation, okay, now to solve the equation of the form sine theta is equal to k or cos theta is equal to k. Remember, k can be any number. They can be 0.5, it can be 2.6, it can be any number k. Or tan theta is equal to k. First thing you need to do, okay, so this one can be something like, for example, sine theta is equal to 0.5. Now, to solve this kind of equation, the first thing you need to do is find the reference angle. Find the what? The reference angle in the first quadrant. Now, we know what a reference angle is. Why is it supposed to be in the first quadrant? It is because the reference angle, it is less than 90. Okay, that is a reference angle. It cannot be greater than 90. It's always less than 90. That is why it is in the first quadrant, because the first quadrant is 0 to 90 degrees. So if you don't know how to find the reference angle, you have to watch the previous videos that I made on how to show or find the reference angle, so that in solving the equation, it can be easy for you. The second step, you need to determine in which two quadrants will theta will lie. So in which two quadrants will theta lie? Remember, we are talking of positive and negative. Okay, so you need to determine where is theta going to be in the quadrant. Okay, once you have identified that, which of course in most questions they do tell you where theta lies. So all you need to do is to find the equation, solve the equation. So then third step is find the corresponding angles in two quadrants. So in the quadrant where theta will lie, you need to find the two angles and that will be your answer. And one thing you should always remember is that the sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta can be positive or negative, depending on the quadrant it lies. Remember, we looked at the cast diagram. Which helped us to understand where the positive and the negative is. So let me just remind you. So we can go and let's look at this cast diagram first. We have 0 degrees, we have 90 degrees, we have 180 degrees, we have 270 degrees, and 360 degrees. Now, in the cast diagram, we learned that this is a cast diagram, so we can name it. We can name it as C A S T. All students take calculus. Okay, remember that concept, all students take calculus. So in this diagram, you should be able to know where is everything, where is sine positive, where is cos positive, where is tan positive, and where is sine negative, and etc. So casts simply stand for cos. In this fourth quadrant, cos is positive. In the first quadrant, all are positive, meaning sine is positive, cos is positive, and tan is positive. Okay, but here only sine is positive, meaning only sine is positive, the rest are negative. But here only tan is what? Positive, the rest are negative. Here cos is positive, the rest are negative. So this is what the cast diagram tells us. So if we use the cast diagram, we should be able to answer any kind of a question that comes our way. And also we should remember the range that we have been given. So in the first quadrant, let me just draw this shape again to remind you, although I remember drawing this, but no worries, I can draw it again. 0 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. So the range, or meaning in the first quadrant, what will be the range or the period? The first quadrant, the period is always 0 to 90 degrees. So we are going to say 0 to 90 degrees. This is 0 degrees to 90 degrees. Okay. What about in the second quadrant? It's always 0 degrees, is 90 degrees to 180 degrees. Here it is 180 degrees to 270 degrees. Here it is 270 degrees to 360 degrees. So these are the periods that we have. So in solving these equations, trigonometric equation, you are going to know in which quadrant is my period. So if the period is 0 to 90 degrees, then you know that it is in the first quadrant. It is in the first quadrant. If it is 90 to 180, then you know it is in the second quadrant. If it is 180 to 270, then you know that it is in the in the third quadrant. Okay, it's in the third quadrant. But 270 to 360, then you know it is in the fourth quadrant. Okay. So sometimes the period, to make now the whole period, meaning one cycle, it is actually 360. So sometimes they may tell you to find, they may give you a concept or a question of saying, find the equation when you are given a period of 0 degrees less or equal to theta less or equal to 360 degrees. So this simply means that you can find, this is the whole circle. Okay, meaning the whole period is 360. So you will start from 0 all the way to 360. This is what they mean to find the angle theta. You can find it anywhere. In any of these quadrants, you can find angle theta. Okay, so now with this knowledge, with this just brief knowledge, let us now look at the examples. So let's look at the examples. Okay, so the examples are as follows. Number 1, solve the following equations for 0 degrees is less or equal to theta is less or equal to 360. So in solving this equation, what you need is a calculator. You need to have a calculator because this comes in paper 2. So you need to have a calculator like this. Okay, so that it has the functions. You can see it has this sine, cos, and tan. Then it means that you can easily find any of these questions. So let's begin with the first question. So let's start with the first. A, they're asking us to find sine theta is equal to 0.866. So the first thing we need to identify is what they said. We should find first of all the reference angle. So this part here, make sure that you take it serious because it will guide you on how you should find the angle, on how you should find the two angles. So this is very important for you. Now, remember, they are simply telling us that on the first concept, the first thing you need to do is find the reference angle in the first quadrant. So in order for us to find the reference angle in the first quadrant, what we need to do is try to write the inverse of this. So we are going to say sine inverse of 0.866. So when we find the sine inverse of this, then we shall know, we shall find now the reference angle. So let's try to find the inverse for this one. So we know what theta is. Theta is going to be, we get your calculator like this one, then you punch in 0.866 equal to shift and then sine. Okay, then we have 59.9, which is same as 60 degrees. So angle theta is same as 60 degrees. So once this is done, you need now to identify this sign which you have been given is a positive sign, meaning that it is in this first quadrant, also in the second quadrant. There are two solutions that we are going to find, the first quadrant and the second quadrant as well. Okay, so if you want, you can use the cast diagram, or you can go direct, or you can use, let's try to use the cast diagram, which makes life easy. We know that this is 90 degrees and this is 0 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270, then 360 there. Now, the sign is positive. So angle theta, we are told, is 60. But the sign is positive in the first quadrant and also in the second quadrant. So we are simply saying that we have angle 60. We draw the terminal point. We have this angle, which is here, is angle 60. We are simply talking of 60. Again, it is in the it's in the second quadrant. So we draw a terminal ray there to find this angle from here all the way to there. What will this angle be? And we learned that in order for us to find the angle in the second quadrant, all we need to do is to subtract the angle that is given from 180, and we have this angle. So this angle which is here, my dear ones, this angle which is here, it is the same as 60 degrees. This is same as 60 degrees. What about the remaining angle? So we are going to say 180 minus 60. 180 minus 60, what do we have? We have 120 degrees. So we have 120 degrees. Okay, so this tells you that now the answers that you're going to have for the first one, we are simply saying that the answers for theta is equal to 60 degrees, or theta is equal to 120 degrees. So the answers, we can see there are two answers here. Okay, so all the time when you're finding this kind of equation, this is how you find it, by using what? The cast diagram, which is going to make your life easy. Okay, so we have two answers, which is 120 and 60 degrees as our theta, because the sign is positive. Now let's look at this one where the cos is negative. Okay, where the cos is negative. Okay, so the same procedure happens here as well. The cos is negative, cos theta is equal to negative 0.35. So first thing you need to do is to find the reference angle. How do we find the reference angle? First of all, we are going to say cos inverse of negative 0.35 is equal to what? You get your calculator nicely. You are going to punch in these digits. Negative 0.35 equal to, then shift and cos. Then you are going to have your reference angle, which is 100 and what? Which is 110 point. So let's write everything. So we just write everything. We have theta is equal to 110.4873151. But we need to write our angle in one decimal place all the time. Just leave it to one decimal place. So it will be angle theta is equal to 110 point, we round off, this will give us 5 degrees. So 110.5 degrees, this will be our angle, our reference angle. So not our reference angle, but this will be our angle theta. So angle theta, we need now to come and find the reference angle. So the cast diagram is always helpful. Just draw the cast diagram and you are going to find your answer very quickly. 90 degrees, 0 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees. So we need to look at, this cos is negative. Cos is negative. So what you need to identify is, where is cos negative? Where is cos negative? Okay, where is cos negative? So cos is negative in the second and the third quadrant, but in the first and the fourth there is positive. So we are going to draw our terminal point just there, our terminal point, to show that this angle from here all the way to here, it is 100 and what? 110.5 degrees. So to find the reference angle, meaning this angle which is between the ray and the x, this angle which is here, this is where our angle theta is, a reference angle. So this reference angle is actually found by simply using the concept 180 degrees minus theta, meaning this angle which you have been given. So in this question, we are simply going to say 180 minus 110.5 degrees. 180 minus 110.5 degrees. Okay, so what will be our final answer now? So when you subtract these two, what do we get? You can use your calculator to be accurate, because this is a paper 2 question, it carries only 1 mark. So 180 minus 110.5, we have 180 minus 110.5, we have 69.5. So meaning that the reference angle, the reference angle in the first quadrant, will be 69.5. So we know that this angle which is here is 69.5 degrees. So if you have found this angle now, therefore now we need to also find another angle. In the what? We need to find another angle now. This angle will be where the cos is negative. The cos is also negative in the third quadrant. So we draw our terminal ray there. Okay. Once you draw your terminal ray, therefore now we need to find the angle. Okay. We need to find the angle that will be of this value. So how do we find this angle now? We are going to say, so we need to know that this angle which is here, what is the reference angle from this stage to this is simply the reference angle. We already found the reference angle to be 69. So this is same as 69.5 degrees. So this is 69.5 degrees and this is also 69. So these are the reference angles. So we need to find this angle now, where we are simply saying that from here all the way to this stage, what will be our final answer? So how to find this angle? So from here, let's say this angle from there all the way to this stage, which is this angle here. This is the angle we are talking about. So how to find it? We know that from here to there is 180. So if we from here to here is 180, then we need to just add with this one. So we are going to say 180 degrees plus the reference angle given here, which is 69.5 degrees. So when we add these, what do we get? 180 was plus 180. We are going to have 249.5 degrees. 249.9 degrees. So this will be our answer, our second answer. So we are simply saying now, therefore, theta is equal to 110.5 degrees, or theta is equal to 249.5 degrees. So this is how you show your working. So this will be our final answers. We have two solutions here. So I hope it has been made clear. Remember, when you're given this angle, when say negative 5, first find the first angle. The first angle you find, meaning the cos inverse, that will be your first answer. This will be your first answer. So to find the second answer now, you need to find the reference angle. When you find the reference angle, then you can easily find the second answer by simply showing where the second answer is, where the cos lies in when it's negative. So once you do this, then just add 180 plus 60. If it was in the fourth quadrant, we could have just subtracted 360 minus the angle that we have been given to find the second answer. So this is how you work it out, my friend. So let me give you some work that you need to work out on your free time. Work out these questions and see how best you can show your understanding of the video. Thank you for watching, and we end just here. God bless. Bye-bye.